A teenager was jailed for life for the barbaric gang murder of 14-year-old Jaden Moodie. Jaden became 2019's youngest gang victim when he was knocked off a scooter and stabbed 9 times in Leighton, East London on 8th of January. The killing was caught on graphic CCTV footage, which was shown in the Old Bailey trial of 19-year-old Ayab Majdaline. The teenage drug dealer was one of 5 Marley Boy gang members who had set out in a stolen Mercedes into rival Beaumont through territory in what became a killing mission. Majdaline, who had been identified as a modern slavery victim, had admitted drug dealing for the Marley Boys, but denied being involved in Jaden's murder. But jurors heard his DNA was found on a bloody yellow rubber glove and knife discarded after the killing. He was found guilty of Jaden's murder and possession of a blade at the Old Bailey. Judge Richard Marks QC sentenced him to life in prison with a minimum term of 21 years plus 18 months to run concurrently. Judge Marks said Jaden had been associated by the rival Beaumont crew gang, but he did not deserve to die. He said, "I cannot ignore the evidence about his drug and other criminal-related history. That he became so involved starting at the age of 13 is truly shocking, but none of that means he deserved to die, still less in the circumstances in which he did." On Majdaline's troubled background, he said, "Your life has been through no fault of your own, blighted by huge personal difficulty from a young age." Earlier in a victim impact statement, Jaden's mother, Jada Bailey, described her son's murder as barbaric. Ms. Bailey said her son was a loving and caring, family-orientated little boy who was fascinated by cars and motorbikes and had ambitions to launch a clothing line called Young Productions. She said he was a remarkable human being who had been moved to hand out gloves to the homeless in the winter when he lived in Nottingham. "I feel like it's a dream and I will wake up and he will be here with us," she added. Ms. Bailey said she had felt let down by organisations she had turned to for help, adding, "I feel like all this could have been avoided. No parent should have to bury their child before themselves." James Scobie QC, mitigating for Majdaline, said this is a case that is, to say the least, without any winners. To have a young boy killed for no apparent reason, really. We do not know actually how it was, why it was that particular moped that was targeted. He said whether or not the attackers set out on a killing mission, that was what it turned out to be on the evening of January 8 when they came across Jaden. On Majdaline's shattered existence, Mr. Scobie said, "In my experience of 35 years on this side of the court, I have never come across someone as broken as this young man. He has not really stood a chance. He had significant disruption by experiences of trauma and exposure to certain ideologies that no one of any age should be exposed to." Mr. Scobie said his client had a non-existent childhood and was particularly traumatised by the murder of his father. Since being held at Belmarsh Jail, he had been attacked and suffered a broken jaw, he said. But the barrister added that Majdaline had exceptional love for his mother and did have the capacity for decency. Giving evidence in the trial, Majdaline said his Irish mother and Moroccan father had split up when he was small, and he turned to county lines dealing to survive. 3 years after the murder of his father, Majdaline was identified by the National Crime Agency as a victim of modern slavery. Jurors also learned that Jaden had been in trouble with police since he was 13. His mother had sent him to stay in East London to get away from a gang in Nottingham. Jaden had been caught with a Rambo knife and cannabis and appeared in a Snapchat video with an imitation gun.